So, we've talked about the major parts of a firearm. Now let's talk about the major parts of ammunition. Ammunition is what you feed your firearm, okay? I've broken it down into cartridges and shells. Cartridges, well, that's what you feed handguns and rifles. Shells, that's what you feed shotguns, okay? And they're pretty darn similar. In a cartridge and a shell, you'll both find a primer, a case, the powder, and the projectile, okay? Or projectiles. Unlike a cartridge, a shell also has an additional component called a wad, okay? Now the wad is what separates the projectiles from the powder, okay? The wad protects the projectiles as it's moving through the barrel. It generally just goes where it wants afterwards. It becomes irrelevant the second it leaves the barrel, though I imagine it would still hurt if it hit you. Usually it's a piece of plastic. So yeah, you got the primer. That's at the base of the case. The case is what holds it all together. When you strike the primer with the hammer or firing pin, you ignite the powder. And once the powder has been ignited, the bullet or projectiles go flying down the barrel. Now, shotgun shells are a little bit different than cartridges in that you can load them with different projectiles. These projectiles are called shot, okay? Shotgun. So shot, it's basically just metal pellets. Shot can come in varying widths. A shotgun shell could have many small pellets, or a shotgun shell could be loaded with a few large pellets. And why you would do either depends on what you're firing at. If you're hunting bird, you'd want many small pellets. If you're hunting deer, well, you'd need a few large pellets. Shotguns can also fire a huge chunk of metal. It's called a slug. It's like a slug is the bullet of a shotgun shell, basically. And like I said earlier, shotguns have smooth bores, generally speaking. So if you are firing a slug, often there will be grooves cut on the outside of the slug so that it will spin itself while it's moving into the air to stabilize itself. Slugs are a lot of fun. They kick because they're pretty darn large, relatively speaking. But yeah, that's basically it. You got primer, case, powder, wad if it's in a shell, and the projectile. So those are the major components of a shotgun.